by Pale Waves, here live on YMCA Digital. So, I did say at the start of the show that we had a very, very special guest. Yeah, so I'm going to explain all. They are an up-and-coming act from Derby. They are pretty amazing. They are the Herron Brothers. Hello.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good, you good?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
So, we have Paul
Yes.
and we have Stephen.
Hello.
You two, let's start things off right at the very beginning. So, you two are obviously brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You say obviously, a lot of people don't just think it's a clever name.
Yeah. And still don't believe us once we've explained it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the resemblance, personally. I can definitely see the resemblance. But, so you guys obviously got into music from a young age. How did you both discover it?
Well, for me it was, it was our auntie, basically. She got into the Paul Simon album, Graceland,
Yeah.
in the 80s, and I remember, because she was like the cool auntie, she was she still is our mother's younger sister, and she was ranting on about that, so I just thought, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, that'd be cool to listen to, and that was it for me. From there it was Paul Simon, it was Simon the Garfunkel, then it was the 60s, then it was the Beatles, and it was all this cool music to look back on, and then from there, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I just remember that we had a record player, and we didn't have that many records, I don't think, but we had Uptown Girl by Billy Joel on 7-inch, and the other one that we had was the 1982 England World Cup song. At this time we'll get it right, and to this day I know all the words to that, and that was I think me and my friend Paul Hodge used to play that just on repeat. We'd go up to my room and we'd just play it on repeat. That was the first kind of music that I properly got obsessed with was probably This Time We'll Get It Right by the England World Cup squad, 1982. Not that we're that old, obviously.
No, of course not. We were listening to that for years after, because there was no other good football songs after that, so it was just that every tournament, wasn't it?
I'll give you that.
Struggling there, wasn't it? Yeah.
So, what actually made you two both decide to take music seriously?
I'm not sure we ever have.
Yeah, I'm not sure that really. Well, I think, I mean, for me, when I came to university, it was because we grew up in a place in Northumberland called Wooler, which is a small place, and we went to school in a place called Alnwick, which again is a small place, and they're lovely places. But I remember the reason that I went to university was to get into a band. It wasn't to learn whatever it was I went to study. It was pretty much to get into a band. So I think from a relatively early age, it was just like, well, that seems cool. And I was from when I very first started trying to do it, writing songs has just been my most favourite thing to do. So that's it really for me.
Yeah, I think for me, just performing. I just wanted to be on stage in front of people, and I don't know, it's that kind of I don't know what you call it, kind of an obsession with attention. I think I was a bit of an attention seeker.
That comes from being the younger brother, I think.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Wasn't your first break in the Wooler Middle School Drama Club?
Yeah.
That was your big breakout performance. What was that?
I had to mime along to a Garth Brooks song, and do all kind of a lot of hat work involved. It was good. That thing where you
the footballer.
No, it was called Friends in Low Places. I remember.
No, the footballer Garth.
No, I don't know. That's Garth Crooks.
Ah, right.
I think.
Yeah, I'm going to take your word for it because I know nothing on football. Fast forward, you two were then in a band called The Sons.
Yeah.
How was it that you all got together? Like, talk to me about that.
Yeah, Paul's probably best to answer this.
Well,
question.
in summaris extremis, at university we started our first band, and a guy called Lee was the bass player, So he was with us in the Sons, and then when we recorded our first demos, like ages ago in the 90s and stuff, the guy that ran the studio, he set up the studio as when he left university, a guy called Stuart English, and then he eventually joined us, and then, you know what it's like, you just go through drummers, and we ended up with Roger.
You know what it's like, you go through drummers.
We ended up with Roger Millichamp, Derby's finest drummer. And that was the Sons, and then Stephen entered the frame once we were established as a four-piece. He came up from Newcastle.
They needed to bring the average age of the band down, so that's why I came on board.
Very nice.
That was it, really.
Yeah.
And from something very positive to something very negative, what made you guys split up?
What made you think that last thing was positive? I'll tell you what.
You weren't in the band,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
I mean,
I'll tell you what made us split up.
money.
Yeah. How do we?
I think we should try and be diplomatic and
Yes.
but honest at the same time.
I'll tell you what it was. The last album that we did, because we did 3 official albums. The first 2 that we did were released in. There was a record company called Pop Up Records in Hamburg, and they put it out in Europe. So we did a lot of touring in Europe and stuff. It was going really well. It was going okay. And then we'd been through so much together. We kind of decided, which I think is what a lot of bands almost should do, that the final album that we do would be the big push. So it would be the one where if we, throw everything in the kitchen sink at it, make sure we have plenty of songs, make sure it's the best thing we could possibly do, and if that doesn't work, you call it a day.
Right.
Because where do you go after that? So essentially that's what happened.
Yeah, if you put out an album that you think is the best thing you've ever done, and it doesn't really do anything, whether it be, that be sales or loads of good reviews or whatever, you can't just carry on, really. I think
your energy.
There comes a point where you go, well, what is the point? And we're still, the good thing is we're still mates with all the rest of the band. There was no bad feeling or anything. So in fact, we're getting together with them.
We'll have a Christmas drink and a summer drink.
That's good.
And it's you know what? It's so good because when you're in a band with people who are your really good friends, it's actually quite hard work because you have to get together on a Sunday afternoon, and when normal people are doing normal things, you're stuck in a sweaty, dark room for 4 hours arguing about what songs should be on the album and stuff, and it can get tense. And as soon as we split up, that kind of tension, it lifts, so you literally just meet up like normal friends would and have a few pints, and it's been absolutely brilliant, hasn't it? And we don't see them too much.
It's great.
But
Yeah, very, very
what was
nice.
the question?
Who's your favourite footballer?
Garth Brooks. Don't break my heart. I don't know. Was that him? That was Gascoigne.
So after your split, you decided to collaborate together as the Herron Brothers. So my question to you now is, did the style of music that you eventually decided to make, did that come naturally, or did you try out lots of different styles? What did you do?
I think it come naturally because the Sons was kind of it was pop music, but it was a little bit more kind of diverse because there was 5 people in the band who had completely different music tastes, whereas with the 2 of us, we have very similar music tastes, and a lot of that is harmony based stuff, harmony based kind of pop music. Like we're huge Crowded House fans and things like that, so it just seemed natural that when we're going from the Sons to this, it would be even more poppy, even more based around harmony. And so it came. We didn't really talk about it that much. It was just like, let's do this similar stuff, but let's concentrate on the harmonies. We like 3-part harmonies and things like that.
Yeah.
And
I was the main songwriter in the Sons anyway, and towards the end, you were you were doing stuff together and contributing stuff. So actually, it wasn't that much of a big jump really. Just different people are playing on it really.
Of course, that's really cool. So we're going to take a break from the interview.
Oh, thank God, I'm exhausted.
I can't speak. You're not really done there yet, because you are about to take part in a first for this show. Yes. And a first for everything. Not everything in total, but we'll go with it.
is it Naked Tuesdays?
Is it Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Tuesday.
cool.
Well, actually, it's Wednesday, but
Oh,
it's
right.
Tuesday. We're recording on Tuesday,
Yeah.
but it's Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
Yeah.
Have I let the cat out of the bag that this isn't a live broadcast?
I'll let it out
Oh,
loads of times.
no.
It's fine.
If you're listening in America, it's Thursday.
So you are about to play for the first time ever the EJ Scanlan mystery quiz. It's a working title, so we do apologise.
Yep, you could do better.
Thanks.
I wasn't nervous. I'm nervous now.
Okay.
I wasn't nervous about this interview, but the fact that we've actually got to do something made me a little bit
I'm
nervous.
excited.
Okay.
Come
So
on.
let me explain the whole concept to you.
Okay.
So it sounds simple, but it's not. So I'm going to give you 100 seconds, and you have to, in those 100 seconds, answer as many questions correctly as you possibly can.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Is that 1 point?
Correct.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
right.
But however, so let me explain how it works. So if you get no questions right, then it's obviously no points. But every point that you get is banked, and that is yours. But yeah, I can't speak. I'm sorry, I can't think.
It's hard. I've done quizzes before. It's hard to describe the rules.
Yeah, it is very hard.
Yeah, you're
But
doing very well.
thank you.
Keep going. Come on.
But how it works is you have to how you get all the points is you have to do it through getting as many consecutive correct answers as possible. So you have to make a chain of correct answers. So for example, if you get a question right, that's 1 point. 2 questions right on the trot is an additional 2 points, making your total 3. 3 additional points. 3 additional points if you get 3 questions right on the trot it makes 6 your total.
Mhm.
If you then get your 4th question wrong, you then break your chain and you have to start all the way back from 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
It's fine.
So, I did say this was a mystery quiz
Uh huh.
because I don't actually know what you're going to be answering questions on.
Oh, okay.
Whoa,
Wow,
whoa.
that is mysterious.
Neither do you.
That's right.
Until-
That would be cheating.
It would be. So,
Oh, I see 3 envelopes.
Oh.
there are 3
Oh, no.
envelopes here, and for the camera, here they are.
The pictures
Um,
on those envelopes are disgusting.
The what?
The pictures on those envelopes, that's
No,
disgusting.
no, writing, thank you very much.
All right.
Right, so, 3 envelopes. In each envelope is a category. That will be the category that you'll be answering questions on.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Do I have to pick one?
pick an envelope. So,
Oh,
envelope
no.
number 1, envelope number 2, or envelope number 3. Your choice.
2.
2.
The middle one.
I've randomised these as well, so I don't know what you're going to be answering.
Okay,
so,
cool.
open up the envelope and
It's
tell me what
exciting.
you've got.
Anthrax.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, music.
Music!
How appropriate.
Sugar, I'm not good at
However,
music.
this could expose us as being complete charlatans, really, if we don't do well.
So,
I'm
you
assuming
are.
it's going to be based on, Crowded House and the Beatles.
You never know.
Is that? Can I ask one thing? Is there two things? Is there a prize?
Mhm.
Yes.
Hold on. The prize is the success of winning. But how it
Okay,
will work?
that's fine.
How it will work is you're going to go onto a leaderboard.
Yes.
So you are going to go up against other bands that we interview,
Uh-huh.
not just on the show, but on my YouTube channel as well.
Okay.
And yeah, so you've got to try and beat.
But as this is the first one, we're going to be number 1
Of
on
course.
the
Yes,
leaderboard.
so, yeah,
of course,
brilliant.
but you've got to try and get as high as possible. So you've got to try and get as many points
Okay.
as you possibly can.
It's like
Right.
Top Gear, isn't it? It's like that thing they had in Top
Yeah.
Gear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly like that. Because you've got to try and be on top.
And then
Right,
at the
okay.
end of it all, will we be crowned supreme rulers?
It will go on for a very long time, but if
Years?
we do, potentially.
Oh, okay.
But if ever we stop and you are the winners, then
Something.
you are the winners.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will figure out a prize.
And I
Brilliant.
guess if we stay at the top, we'll get mentioned every time the quiz is on. Oh, you haven't beaten the Herron Brothers. That's a prize.
So that's good.
That-
do it.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I've not actually done this on this, so I've got like a little. I have like a little thing. Oh, thank you very much. I've got headphones now.
Okay. That's fine.
They're a bit stretched, aren't they?
They are.
There we go.
They are a little bit stretched. So, are you?
Lonesome Tonight.
Sorry, Will at the moment is just like tangled in wires.
Blue. Tangle up in blue. 2 points.
So, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
So, how it will work is, Paul, I will ask you the first question,
yes.
and Stephen, I will ask you the second question, and we'll keep going
Okay.
like that. Are you ready?
Yep.
So, best of luck, guys. Are you
Thanks.
ready?
Yeah.
Your 100 seconds starts.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, Ed Sheeran kicked off 2018 with what number one?
Don't know. Pass.
Perfect. Stephen,
Thanks.
the soundtrack to which film spent weeks at the top of the British album charts in early 2018?
Showman.
I will give you that, The Greatest Showman. So, Paul, Man of the Woods is the first studio album to be released in 5 years by which singer?
I've no idea. Pass.
Justin Timberlake. Stephen, in 2015, Rita Ora was a judge on 2 British talent shows. Name both.
Britain's Got Talent.
Wrong, The Voice and The X Factor. So, Paul, which US rapper did Ed Sheeran provide guest vocals for to briefly score UK number 1 in January 2018?
Jobby Half Smell.
Eminem. The Spice Girls are set to reform in 2018. Which song became their final number 1 single prior to the band's initial breakup? Holla, Goodbye, or Viva Forever?
Viva Forever.
Holla. So, which female vocalist performed the Star Spangled Banner at the 2018 NFL Super Bowl?
Taylor Swift.
Pink. Sounded in the Ground as the first number 1 for which group?
Girls Aloud.
These are easy
Correct.
ones.
The film Four Weddings and a Funeral made which cover song a number 1 in 1994?
Alright. Looking all around.
Correct. Which decade did Elvis have his first UK number 1?
50s.
Correct. Where is the Love was the first number 1 for which
Black Eyed
collective?
Peas.
Correct. What was the imaginative title of Mr. Blobby's first number 1?
Lobby.
Mr. Blobby, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So, finally,
Nice one.
okay, so which number 1, I started so I'll finish. Which number 1 had songs, I can't speak, I'm sorry, it's because the clock's finished.
It's high octane stuff. This.
It
I'm
is.
not surprised.
It is. So, who had number 1 with songs Call Me and Atomic?
Blondie.
That is correct.
Nice.
So,
We did better towards
We
the
did,
end.
we did, yeah. Well, he started asking
we were
questions
rubbish.
about actual music towards the end, didn't he?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay. I was going to reveal the score at the end, but I'm probably going to forget it. So,
I think it was about
73 or something?
yeah 73. I think was the final score.
shut up.
Well, that's not very nice.
Darling, I am out of here.
You,
I've never walked out of an interview before. Should we do it?
that won't be very good for the station, or for me. I can reveal that your score, both of you, you had a score, a very respectable score
You
of
lie.
22, which I think is very good. We've done some tests, some test things before. That is one of the highest ones we've had, so well done for that. It's really
Thanks,
good. Okay,
We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.
Yeah.
you are top of the
Yeah,
league.
Yeah, it has come home.
Yeah.
It has come home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It has.
Music coming home.
Yes, so let's continue with the interview and let's talk about Stuck in the Sun. So this is your new single. What was it inspired the song?
Well, Paul, what does
It was inspired by my girlfriend asking us to go for walks on a Sunday, usually, and me either wanting to or needing to stay indoors so that I could write songs. I would just like to state that I do actually love going for walks with her on a Sunday, but it's not always possible to do that. So the idea was the character in the song, because I wouldn't say it was definitely me, the character in the song much prefers to be indoors and is moaning about being outdoors, hence stuck in the sun.
Very
Yes.
Brilliant.
That's roughly what it is based. It's hung around that.
Hung
The
around.
tapestry of the song, this framework, is hung around that premise.
very interesting.
Thanks.
Very interesting.
You
Um,
learn
so-
a new thing every day.
Do, don't you?
Well, the single that you have out.
So you guys have also played with the Blue Tones and Top Loader. How did those gigs come around?
The very simple answer is we got in touch with the promoter and he said yes.
That's good.
It's just that simple, really. Every time there's kind of a band that you'd like to support comes and plays your local city, you should just get in touch and go, can we do it?
Yep.
And
Big up Mr. Brett James, thank you for that. Both
Yeah.
good shows.
Solid
Solid performances.
Yeah, the Blue
By us
Blue
and the
Tones
headline
gig
acts.
especially was fantastic.
Okay. It was good.
We were brilliant.
Yeah.
We were arguably the second best band on that night.
Brilliant.
No, to be fair, there was loads of people that said, and I'm not being big-headed here, but there was loads of people that said, you guys were so much better than the Blue Tones.
Really?
I was nearly sick. That's it. That's an actual quote from lots of people in the audience.
Yeah. Wasn't Morris said that, didn't he?
I think he said that, the lead singer.
Brilliant.
Fake news.
So-
Hashtag fake Blue Tones news.
Fake blues.
So, I'm going to ask, I'm not sure if you guys have got a collective answer for this or you want to answer both separately, but what would you say is the most career-defining moment for the Herron Brothers so far?
When we discovered that we were brothers. So probably when I was born. I think that would make sense.
It set us off on the correct path,
Because
didn't it?
before that it was just the Herron. That didn't make any sense.
For me, I would say... No, I don't think it's happened yet, to be honest, so... Carry
Okay.
on.
Yeah, over the next few months there will be a career-defining moment.
Yeah, I think we're about to have them, really, because this
Yeah.
is actually, even though we've been doing it ages, this is our first... I'm leaning it right away from the microphone. This is our first proper release, really, so even though we've kind of put loads of demos out and stuff over the years, and EPs and sold songs at gigs and stuff, this is actually Stuck in the Sun, is I would class it as our first ever single,
Official,
really.
Yeah.
So
it's our debut single.
Yeah, well, I certainly agree with you guys, but I think you are going to have lots of career-defining moments over the next few months because it's a very busy time for you because
It
you've
is,
got
yeah.
your second single released next month and you've got your album released on the 14th of September, am I right?
that's right.
That
yeah.
is correct, yes. That's an
I'm-
exclusive as well.
Is it?
Yeah,
It is,
nobody
yeah.
really
Nobody-
knows
nobody
that.
knows that.
Oh,
isn't-
sorry.
No,
No,
it's
good,
fine. It's
good.
fine.
Okay.
It's good.
Well, you might want to give us a little bit more of an exclusive if you want to. What is your second single going to be called and what's the album going to be called?
The album is going to be called "The Last Ones Left."
Nice title.
The Last Ones Left, and the next single is going to
Called
be
Don't Let You Down.
"Don't Let You Down."
We shot the video for it on the weekend, which
Wow.
was an interesting experience because it involved us being in a darkened room for 5 hours, miming to the song at least 50 times. So at the start it was good fun. By the end of it, we wanted to kill each other.
Oh, bless you. I've got. I have another question. You said what your album title was called. Why did you choose to call it that?
Because it kind of feels like we are the last ones left of like with the Sons broke up and we continued on to be doing music. It feels like there's been a lot of bands in Derby who have eventually split up and broke up, or people who have stopped doing music.
Yeah.
It feels like we've been doing it for so long and we're still enthusiastic about it that we kind of do feel like the last ones left.
Yeah,
There's
it's
not
weird,
there's not
yeah.
many people still doing it and still giving it the beans and
Yeah.
trying to do it properly.
Every now and then you'll hear, it happens to all, well, I'd say 95, 90 and above, more than 95% of musicians, there's that word, I'm having a kid, or I'm getting married, and you just think, tick, there's another one.
Yeah, we'll never see them
Another
again.
one gone. But yeah, it is that, and I suppose our style of music as well. It's I hope we're at the vanguard of a fresh kind of Brit poppy kind of harmony based movement.
There's very few
Because
people.
not many people do it. Not many people do it anymore.
People don't do pop music, like band pop music, guitar pop music. There's 100 metal and rock bands out there, and some of them are great, but.
And every now and then you'll get like an Ernest, the newest Ernest indie band, you know, who's trying to be the new, I don't know, Jam or whatever, and you just think, come on, man, I've heard that before.
There's a lot of derivative rubbish out there.
Yeah, or the new Oasis or something boring like that.
Yeah.
Not that they were boring when they came out, but when you hear something 20 years on,
Over and over again.
yeah, somebody kind of swaggering on the stage and giving it, you think, shut up, you know, be original.
Yeah, I understand that.
So we just try and copy the Beatles.
Because that was so long ago that it's considered
it's forgotten to do.
it's fresh now. Yes.
Who?
True.
Never heard of it.
So, as I did say, it is a busy couple of months with the album and the single, but also you're going on tour as well. Locally, you're playing the Quad Cafe bar in Derby on the 17th of October.
Yes.
And then a few days later, you'll play Nottingham's very own Jam Cafe on the 22nd. Talk to me, how do you get tickets? Is there a way to get tickets?
Well, that's a very good question, EJ, because
It's such a good question. We're not quite sure of the answer.
We are in touch with the wonderful Bradley Rice, where the tickets are going to be online via the usual Jam Cafe ticket routes. What they are escapes me at the minute, but I think that once the date's up, all you need to do is you go on the Jam Cafe website and you buy them via the normal ticketing.
Brilliant.
It's one of those, what was it? You know, them normal ticketing routes.
tickets or something?
C tickets,
Yeah.
I believe, something like that. But yeah, as soon as those dates, we're just putting a few more together until we've got like the whole list of dates, and then they'll all go up on the website, and then the method of buying tickets for those shows will be on there. I mean, for example, they'll all be different, because what we're doing is prior to what we hope to be a larger full band tour at the start of next year, we're just doing just the two of us. It's pretty much a cafe kind of tour. With just two guitars, two voices, and loads of stupid stories. Basically, because we couldn't afford to pay the musicians to do a full band tour because we're skint. So
We'd spent so long trying to get a bass player and a drummer and a keyboard player, and then all of a sudden you kind of think to yourself, well, let's just not bother even trying, and let's do it ourselves. And it's cheaper. It seems to be easier to get gigs. And we can just take our own little PA system and do it that way. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Talk to me about, like, where can we find you? What's your social media? Like, how can we follow you?
Well, we're on. I shouted that. Sorry.
It's all right.
We're on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and. I mean, this is the question that a lot of musicians really don't like, because social media is a bit alien.
you love it,
Yeah.
though, don't you?
Well, I'm forced to. That's kind of my job, isn't it? But yeah, we're on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and all that, and just search for the Herron Brothers.
That's the main thing, isn't it?
HERRON.
Yeah.
And you'll find us.
Brilliant.
We are there.
And just to repeat that, Herron, HERRON.
Yes.
Can you hear me, world? That's how you spell it, all right?
Okay. And one final question. I did say it's going to be one of the hardest questions.
Many as you want.
Um,
As long as it doesn't involve like the Spice Girls or anything.
I mean, by the way, Holler. I don't remember that. I remember Viva Forever. How did Holler go?
yeah, I have no idea. I have absolutely no
Holler.
idea.
I think you made that up. Sabotage.
Last question I want to ask you two separately.
Yeah.
But what does music mean to you? Told you it's a hard one.
I'd like to think that music will mean an income. The thing is, we're good at this. You know, we've discovered over the years that we are good at doing music. So at some point, you want it to be your job. You want to, and because we enjoy what we do. So what music means to me is, I'm not good at anything else really. So music is a job, and I'd like it to be a job that gives me a half decent income,
Mm.
which I know is the hardest thing in the world, but fingers crossed, it'll happen.
Yeah, it's certainly not a very fashionable thing to say either. Oh,
Yeah, there's a
you've
lot.
been in it for the money, and a lot of people say, "Oh, we do it because we love it." And what a load of tosh!
Yeah, or
You know-
you should do it because you do it for the love of it.
Yeah.
These idiots.
Tell you what I'd love. I'd love a swimming pool. I want to get up out of bed in the morning, and I've got this thing where there's going to be just at the side of my bedroom a slide, and you just go straight down into the pool. And you don't have to be a millionaire to do that. You can do that on the cheap. You could do that for
True.
a few grand.
Make it out of wood.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about is what if somebody breaks into your house, sabotages the slide, like puts glass at the bottom of the slide, and then you go into the water and you bleed out.
Ouch.
First world problems.
These are the things that keep me awake at night.
What when you you worry about your imaginary slide and pool?
Yeah, in glass.
I don't know.
Like, you weren't expecting that, were you?
I was not.
Yeah.
I was not at all. But that is it. So, guys, thank you so much
Cheers.
for
Thank
coming
you.
down. And we are now going to play on the station your first single, "Stuck in the Sun."
Can we leave then? Because we've heard it loads.
Sure, but you have to introduce it first.
We do love it, really,
Yeah,
obviously.
it's the best pop single you will hear this summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you guys people can send feedback and comments and stuff, can they?
What for this station?
Yeah.
Well, we have Twitter and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
We'd
so
love to hear what people think about it.
yeah, so get in touch. At YMCA Digital on Twitter. Tweet me at TJ Scanlan, and yeah, I'll make sure that
Great.
people listen and give you feedback and all of that.
Cool.
So guys, once again, thank you so much. We are going to play that song. Would you two like to introduce it for us?
Yes.
Hi, this is Stephen from the Herron Brothers, and this is our new single, "Stuck in the Sun."
If 50,000 of you were to buy this tomorrow, we'd be at #1 on Friday. Can you believe that?
Do it.
Do it.